What up? We are, before we get into this very special episode of the Mr. Superman podcast, I just wanted to say that I am back in Illinois. This is my childhood room. That's my childhood bed, where I peed on a lot. And, I just wanted to say...
Boo!
Oh my god, dude, you should have saw your fucking face. You look like such a loser. God, you got scared by a fucking YouTube video, you loser. God, welcome back to the fucking podcast, guys. Oh man, I didn't think this water part through actually. Oh god. Oh, fucking hell, dude. All right. Well, welcome to the 7th episode of the Mr. Superman podcast. I got, as you can tell, I've got a actual camera this time, so better setup and decent lighting. I am home in Illinois. I'm Mr. Superman, as you can tell, and I have absolutely nothing planned. I have nothing planned other than this costume, so sorry. I know I said I was going to have a bunch of shit planned. I've been up to my ears, dude, in legal shit, because, Mr. Superman is a bad boy. Is a bad man. Soupy man. But I've been busy as hell, and, well, I don't have my license. I was going to go to Walmart and buy a bunch of stuff, decorate this place up. Well, actually, I have a few things, so let's actually get this place set up, right? Come on, let's make it a little bit more Halloween-y. Damn, all right, what we got here? We got, I think this is my high school gown, and there's nothing scarier than a high school graduate, right, or a college graduate for that matter. Fucking terrifying. Oh my god, over here, okay. Oh, shit, that scared me, man. A referee. So, this guy's a magician, too. In his hobby. It could be a judge, too, which is fucking terrifying and kind of topical for me, because, legal shit, I wasn't able to go to Walmart and get some shit, but, I provide. Superman provideth. And I couldn't even find the costume box. My mom must have moved it somewhere, and I should have asked her prior to today, but I digress. I didn't. So I just went into my brother's closet, found my old cap and gown. Well, not cap, but gown. And I think my brother was a referee. Yep. Got some pumpkins, This is the best I can do, all right? Take it or leave it. Mr. Superman ain't got time for that attitude. You like this shit, man. You have to like it. But like I said, other than this, nothing else planned. But happy Halloween. Happy fucking Halloween. Thought I'd have my license now. I don't. And that's the scariest thing that's probably going to happen this Halloween. That is terrifying. Mr. Superman being treated like he's nothing. That is on brand for Halloween. So happy Halloween to you, I guess. Not to me, because fuck me. But, sorry if it's probably going to get annoying that I got to fix my mustache, but yeah, it's, I kind of have to do that. But anyways, thank you for watching the podcast. Thank you for watching this one. We made it to 7 episodes. Actually, I recorded a podcast last night with Ethan. We're calling it episode 6.9. But that one was a lot of fun. So I guess this is technically the 8th episode, but we're calling it the 7th one. I need a straw or something. I'm trying to get this out on Halloween. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Halloween or had a fantastic Halloween. Party it up. Go crazy. Don't get yourself in any legal trouble, because that's a drag. But anyways, I've been home. I've been home for 5 days, I think. Going back up this weekend, and I got some stuff planned creatively, and I'm very, very excited. So you're probably going to be hearing me pushing my mustache too. You get what you get. You got take what you can get. Special thanks to you, Maiko, because I know you're watching. Sorry about talking about your dad in the last one. But anyways, oh shit. I can't laugh. I'm even more Mr. Suitman than ever, and I got my buddy Ref Razmataz and Judge Booby Judge Boobies behind me, and I got my dad's camera. That's why the quality is so good. So fucking sick. I'm trying to save up for my camera of my own, so that hopefully all of them could be like this, or just like my sketches can be higher quality and such. I'm excited to go back up to Winona. I have decided that I am moving out, finally. I mean, I had already known that I kind of wanted to be out there by the end of the year, but with all this legal stuff, it's just going to be easier to be here because taking the train up and down and figuring stuff out. And, Illinois is kind of, not kind of. Illinois is a bitch, man. I can get my license. I've been able to get my license in Minnesota for the past month and a half, almost 2 months. But here I have to go through all these hoops, a lot of which I already did a year ago, but they want me to do them again because it's expired, yada, yada, yada. So I'm just going to move back to make it easier, and hopefully by February or March, I can drive again. And then I'm getting the fuck out of this state because fuck Illinois, dude. Fuck it. Fuck Illinois, dude. Anyways, yeah, I mean, there'll be a couple more episodes up in Minnesota, so that's not the end of that. But I'm excited. I'm so excited to fucking put my 2 weeks in at the diner, as you probably know. And I am very excited to move out because it's run its course. I've been there 3 years, and it's time. You guys doing anything fun for Halloween? You ever been to a haunted house? How many have I been? I think I've been to one, maybe two. The very first haunted house I went to was actually actual haunted house, scary, not the you ever walk through sometimes people would open their houses. I don't know if you've ever been to something like this. They would have their garage, and they'd have a walk-through tour, and kids can just come and walk through, and there'd be stuff to look at. This mustache, dude, I might have to staple it on, I swear to God, or duct tape it or something. But yeah, that doesn't count. I mean, an actual haunted house that you pay money for. My very first haunted house I went to was when I was 16, I think, 15, 16. I was on a double date with this girl I liked, and I was trying to be all cool and shit because there's this guy with fake knives walking around I'm gonna catch you, and I was like, hey, it's scary, and then looking at the girl I like, I'm like, look how cool I am, I got nothing out of that date. I mean, we held hands as we walked through. But honestly, the haunted house is a lot of fun. There's a lot of things that I always thought I'd be scared to do. And I think mostly in part, okay, I might have to take off the mustache for a little bit. Mostly in part because just people I knew didn't fuck with that shit. Specifically my brother didn't really love, I don't think he loved scary movies, but he didn't like roller coasters. He hated them. So I always thought I would hate roller coasters. So then I tried my first scary roller coaster when I was in high school and fucking loved it, So there are a lot of things that I didn't try. And I thought I would hate haunted houses. Honestly, get the blood pumping, get the adrenaline going. You have yourself a cute girl, with you. And honestly, it was pretty fun. It was a double date, and my other friend was going with this girl, and they ended up dating for a while. So, start the relationship off right. And well, they actually say that. They actually say take a girl to a scary movie or something because the adrenaline goes up and they're feeling a little more risky, which sounds so fucking dark. It sounds wrong, but I mean, it's when you're scared, that's why there's always sex scenes in Walking Dead. I don't know, I've never seen Walking Dead, but I'm guessing oh my God, that was so scary, and then they fuck, right? You can't tell me I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but there's a lot of horror movies where they just get out by the skin of the teeth and then they fuck. I don't know what the takeaway to that is. I did not fuck after that. but I got to hold a sweaty hand, and that was enough for 16-year-old me. I think we broke up like a month later. 2 months. Our relationship was only like 2 months. Spooky. Yeah, this episode's filled with spooky shit, I know. Let me think. Yeah, let's just keep it like Halloween topics. I like this. Well, let's just get movies out of the way. I really wanted to watch a lot of scary movies before this episode, but I didn't really get around to it. I watched this show with Steve Carell called The Patient. The whole idea is that he's a therapist, Steve, and he gets taken by one of his patients, and he gets locked in the patient's basement to give him therapy so that he could stop killing people. And so that's a little Halloween-y. Honestly, it was a great show. The ending was kind of like, it was slow. The pacing was slow. I didn't mind the slow pacing, but then the ending didn't really make up for the slow pacing. The suspense built, and then it just wasn't. It was good, but I feel like they could have even gone for a second season and then done something even crazier. Because the guy's like trying not to kill people, but he's killing people, and Steve Carell's trying to fucking like give this dude years and years and years of therapy just in fucking one session so this guy stops fucking killing people. But also he doesn't want to get killed by this psychopath. So that I would recommend that one. There's not a lot of shows that I watch. Honestly, the only type of shows I watch are like comedy shows. But, you got to change it up every once in a while. My sister recommended I watch that one, and honestly, it was pretty good. I liked it a lot. Let's see. I watched a lot of like Halloween episodes. I watched a lot of Treehouse of Horror, The Simpsons, some just random like Wizards of Waverly Place Halloween episode and stuff like that. I have yet to watch something actually scary. I probably will do that on Halloween or like the day before Halloween. But it's always hard, when you're alone at night. So maybe I'll try to find someone to watch it with. And I'll do that closer to Halloween. I don't know which one. I want to watch something I haven't seen, but the problem with that is you don't know what the fuck's coming. Now I'm just a dude in a suit, I feel like I need this fucking thing. Because now I'm Mr. Suitman. Maybe I'll get some more tape. Okay, I think it's not sticking because I have an actual mustache. So I'm just going to do that. How's that look? Yeah, that's fine. All right. Yeah. Oh, I watched Over the Garden Wall. I thought I had watched it. It's this show, animated show. I mean, you probably have heard of it at least. And it's cute. I thought I watched it when I was in like high school maybe. I thought I watched it all the way through, but watching the last few episodes, I didn't recognize it. I didn't remember. I didn't recall what happened. So I like that. That was a cute little fall episode. Make yourself some apple cider and watch it during the day. It was pretty when the fall leaves were just beginning to fall. Man, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for fall weather and doing like fall things, man. Like I'm not like pulling up at Starbucks getting the pumpkin spice latte or some shit, but like if I had friends that want to do that, no, I'm playing. I'm just saying, like, I'm a sucker for just like stereotypical seasonal things, like hot cocoa in the wintertime. That's just flame, because especially when it's food. When it's food, it hits different, food and drink, because you're allowed to drink it whenever, but for some reason you just don't. Like you just like pumpkin pie is so fucking good, but I only eat it once a year, and I eat it. I always want to eat it Halloween because all the goddamn pumpkins. I want to turn that bitch into a pie, if I knew how to, but I only have it around Thanksgiving once a year. So when fall comes around, I'm like, that's why I'm really excited for fall because I can eat pumpkin pie finally, even though I could whenever. It just doesn't hit the same. You know what I mean? That's better. Okay. Do you like my mustache? What else do you do? I mean, haunted trails. I think my sister worked at a haunted trail for a little bit. I wanted to like do top scary movies, but that same girl that I went to the haunted house with, I also went to see The Visit in theaters. And if you don't know, The Visit is once I say this, you'll probably remember the advertisements even if you hadn't seen it. It's the one where the grandma's like, "Can you get inside the oven and clean it?" So honestly, it was a shitty movie, but it's like so shitty that you can laugh at it, especially that part. And you know what? Spoiler alert, but I'm gonna say it. Nothing happens with the fucking oven. I mean, I haven't seen it since I was like 15, but I know she just cleans the oven, gets inside, and then I'm pretty sure just gets out, and that's it. Nothing happens with it. But the implication is scary, right? That she's gonna like cook you. But I watched that movie with actually, dude. Okay, let's just tell it. It's been so long. Embarrassing story, but fuck it. I was 15, maybe 16. I really wanted to ask this girl to homecoming. And I've never asked a girl to homecoming at this time, right? We're at a movie theater, and it's me, her, and I think two other people that they're mutual friends of both of us. And I came up with a stupid fucking idea to put a note in, like go buy some popcorn mid-movie too. Like really awkward and really sus. And put a note in the popcorn saying like, "Will you go to homecoming with me?" or something like that. Or you know what it was, dude? Oh my God. I don't want to tell this, man. I don't want to. But it's a Halloween episode, right? You got to cringy and scary because it's so cringy. I think it said something like, "I know it's cheesy." That wouldn't make sense. There's no cheese in popcorn, right? Maybe it's just like, "Not to butter you up." It was some type of fucking popcorn pun, man. It was lame. Not only that, and then it said, "Will you go to homecoming with me?" Not only that, it was like, it's dark in a motherfucking theater. So what happened was, mid-movie, I asked her if she wants popcorn. And she's like, "Huh? Like mid-movie? You don't buy popcorn mid-movie." I mean, some people did. I worked at that theater. I later would go and work there because, okay, one thing at a time, right? So I go and she's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, if you want some." I go and I remember it was a medium bag of popcorn. And I put the note just a couple pieces in because I'm thinking she's going to pick it up and eat it. So I give it to her, and she starts sharing it with the other friend. And now I'm terrified that girl's going to see the note, you know? And I knew it was like hella awkward, man, because it's dark in a motherfucking theater. For all I knew, she could have fucking ate the paper. And then thankfully she's like, what the hell is this? And she was really weird about it. And it was dark in the motherfucking theater, so she's like trying to read it, and I am like sweating fucking bullets. Like, this is a bad idea. Not to ask her to the dance, like whatever, but it would have been just better to take her aside and be like, "You want to go to the dance with me?" You know what I mean? But you're 15, 16, you learn shit. And she just like, I think I've like erased part of the memory for the sake of my ego. Some of it's a little fuzzy, but I remember she's just like turned to me, and I was like, "What?" There was like pause, and she just like looked at me, and I was like, "What's your answer?" And she's like, "Yeah," and then we just turned back to the movie and kept watching it. How fucking awkward is that? How fucking but she said yes. We went to the dance, and later she would become my girlfriend, and then I worked at that movie theater. I was like, the only reason, I'm like, if I have a girlfriend, I want to be able to like buy her shit. This is 16-year-old me. And which is, all the power to me. So I got a job at the theater. And it's funny because like the dude that I bought popcorn from, I ended up working with him, and then he went to Winona to go to college, and he recommended that I go to Winona for school. So, it's crazy how life just has its way of pushing you in a certain direction sometimes. And, it's all about connections and whatnot. Anyways, didn't think I was going to tell that story. I hope that was not too what's the word? defaming, but it's been so long. But anyways, yeah, we watched The Visit, and it was all right. It was funny. I also went to see Krampus in theaters. It's just these are these types of movies that are just like so fucking ridiculous that you kind of just have to laugh at it. So if you're looking for some movies like that, watch The Visit and watch Krampus. Krampus, I mean, it's like a Christmas movie, but it's supposed to be scary because Krampus comes and takes away the bad children or some shit. Oh, you know who my biggest fear was actually? Like all throughout my childhood, and maybe a little still to this day, just a little bit. A little PTSD from that. I've always been terrified of the old lady in Cinderella. You know how like the evil queen can shapeshift? I feel like if you can shapeshift is really your biggest problem. Like what was it? Like I don't even remember. Was it just typical like she wants to be a princess? No, she was already a queen. What was her problem? I'm just saying if you could shapeshift, dude, make some fucking cash with that shit. Why are you worrying about this fucking little girl, I was fucking terrified of the old lady, though, when she shapeshifted into the old lady with the poisonous apples, and tries to get Cinderella to eat the poisonous apples. I mean, that's pretty hard, but she fucking terrified me. I remember having this dream. It was the same reoccurring nightmare. Ever since I was like really little, like 4 years old, I would have this dream where my mom would be carrying me, running through the forest at night, sprinting away from the old lady. I don't know where it started. I mean, she's not that scary in the freaking old cartoon. But what really did it for me is Enchanted came out. Enchanted, I want to see what year it came out. Enchanted came out in 2007. Okay, so I was 7 years old. Already a little afraid of the old lady. 2007 comes out. I'm sorry, Enchanted comes out in 2007, and it's a live action version of Cinderella. She's Giselle. Wait, I mean, I'm not. Wow, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was a good movie. Enchanted though, that's Cinderella, right? I mean, her name's Giselle, but I think it's the same concept. So there's a live action. I'm not gonna look her up because I'm gonna get PTSD. They made a live action Cinderella. So of course she turns into the old lady because that's a big staple of the film that people know. Way too realistic, man. Way too scary, way too detailed. And I have forever been scarred since. Terrifying, man. I still have to look away at that scene where she transforms in the old lady. Can't do it. Yeah, I'm not looking it up. What else could we talk about? We could talk about trick-or-treating. Trick-or-treating was fun. I would typically do it with my neighbor. One time I went with some friends in their neighborhood. It was always interesting going to a different neighborhood that you weren't used to and going trick-or-treating because it was just a different vibe. It was a different mood, Sometimes, bigger candy bars. That's what it's all about. And my mom always got the big candy bars, so there'd be people coming back for more, and they'd be like, didn't you come here already? But, yeah, trick-or-treating, I mean, in high school, I think freshman year, I didn't really go, but I came afterwards, and I had a bullshit costume because I was too cool, right, for Halloween, And Mr. Suitman wasn't, I hadn't become Mr. Suitman. I hadn't blossomed into this, I was just a little soupy boy. But I'm just going to tell this story because it's fucking funny. I mean, Ethan and I, if we were telling it together, it'd probably be funnier. But basically, I went to Dakota's house after they had done some trick-or-treating. And my friend Jason was in a banana costume. And to make a long story short, someone opened the garage door. And as it's going up, he realizes that his banana costume is stuck on the garage door. And still to this day, man, I can still picture his tip of the banana getting stuck and it'd be like, this is going up, just fucking dying of laughter, man. That shit was hilarious. Oh man, your banana getting stuck in a fucking garage door. It could have been bad, right? I mean, it probably would have just ripped off him, but I like to think that, he would have got his banana peeled, Man, I should bring my drums in here. I have my drums I could do. Did you guys ever watch, okay, Halloween, they just put some of the same movies on, like, Cartoon Network. And some of that shit was, like, actually scary. They played Goosebumps. I remember a couple Halloweens in a row, my neighbor and I, we would go back to my place and watch Cartoon Network. And this episode of Goosebumps would play while we, like, exchange candy or count or whatever the hell, kids do. And there was this one episode, I think it was called The Mask or Masks. Basically, it was this girl who was just tired of getting scared all the time and just being just easily scared. So she wants to get back. She goes to this store, and there's these, like, really scary masks in the back. And the guy comes in, he's like, "You're not supposed to be back here." And she's like, "How much for these masks?" And he's like, "They're not for sale." Well, she ends up stealing one, puts it on herself, and throughout the Halloween night, the mask starts fusing with her head, and she starts becoming this, like, terrifying and ugly creature that she was pretending to be. And I guess the moral of the story is, like, don't pretend to be something that you're not or some bullshit, or don't try to scare people. I don't know. But it's like, let the girl be able to scare, like, it was fucking terrifying how far they took it. The lighting and shit. I rewatched it with with Thomas, my old roommate. Like, those 2 Halloweens ago, I think. I rewatched it with him just to show him, like, because what scared me as a child, what gave me fucking nightmares. And that was one of it. I remember they went so far as to have the girl, she had, like, a wax copy of her head. I forget why. Maybe she made an art class or someone made an art class for her. And she ends up burying that head in the cemetery because, symbolically, she's burying her old self. She's become this creature now. And I remember she just, like, looks up to the sky and, like laughs so horribly. And I don't even know if it's a good ending. I think it just ends that way. That shit was fucking terrifying to be on a kid's show. But I guess that's what Goosebumps was known for. I don't think that shit would fly nowadays on cable. Cable back then, though, was kind of just like luck of the draw, whatever you got going on. I remember watching, what's it called, like Ghosts with Patrick Swayze? Where he's, like, trying to communicate with his lover after he's passed. And I think he, like, is able to use, I think it's Whoopi Goldberg, and he's able to, like, go into her body and use her to communicate with his ex-wife or whatever. But my grandma showed me that when I was, like, 8, and there's so much fucking gore and blood in that shit. Love you, Grandma. That shit was fire. That shit didn't scare me. I mean, I was like, I was amazed. I had never seen blood like this. I'd never seen gore like this, and fucking, like, it was deep shit. And I was just like amazed. It was like a whole new world was opening to me. I was like, I know I shouldn't be watching this. I should probably say something, but you know what? Fuck it. My parents are out, and this is my grandma. She knows what's good. And Patrick Swayze is good. You know what I mean? I'm not playing. Yeah, let me think. That gave me the Mask episode, fucking terrifying. The grandma in Cinderella, terrifying. I was terrified of The Grinch, which is funny because that's my favorite movie ever. I'll say it. It's the Jim Carrey's rendition of The Grinch. Fucking hilarious. I can recite the entire movie right now for you if you want to. That could be the next hour of the podcast, just me reciting every fucking line in the best Grinch accent that I can do. But I was scared of The Grinch, man. I don't know why. My parents would have to tell me, like, hey, he becomes good in the end. But there would be times where I'm laying in this bed, and it used to be a bunk bed. My brother and I used to share this room. And, like, I remember one night, his blanket was, like, a little bit off the side of the bed. And I was in the bottom bunk, because younger brother, bottom bunk, you know how it goes. And I totally believed that it wasn't a blanket, and that it was the Grinch's head, like leering over the bed, staring at me. So I hid under the covers and screamed for my parents for like 30 minutes, and they never came. I don't know how old I was. I think this was like a week ago. No, I don't know how young I was, but I was terrified of the Grinch for a little bit. I don't know why. I mean, he's fucking, dude, I would hit. The camera fucking turned off. As I was saying, the Grinch, man, I would hit that. I mean, come on. Wouldn't you? Let's be honest. Come on. I'll give you some time to respond. You would hit that, right? That's what I thought. Especially you, Maiko. You here. Grinch here. 3 of us. You know, doing our Grinchy thing. But that's come Christmas time. Want to give a special shout out to Maiko, though. Thanks for watching these, man. Appreciate that. You know I do. I'm going to keep going with these. I don't know if I'm going to do them every week. I mean, I got a lot of shit here, and I got a lot of other projects I want to prioritize. And it's not like a lot of work doing a podcast, but you do have to, I do have to set shit up and make sure that there's not, I mean, it's nice here. I don't have to worry about my fucking neighbors upstairs. Dude, and I haven't really talked about this a lot on the podcast because they're always up there, and I don't want them to hear me talking shit. I mean, I have, but fuck my neighbors upstairs, dude. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but what it sounds like they're fucking each other. It sounds, and they're all dudes, which is fine. But, okay, let me backtrack. Upstairs neighbors, our landlord doesn't really know who it is because they're always switching them out every few months because it's, they're all Latter-day Saints. And the thing about Latter-day Saints is they can't have any technology or cell phones or anything, from what I've heard. I mean, I'm ignorant. I haven't done much research, but from what I heard, they don't do shit. They're not allowed to do anything with technology. They're kind of strict on that. So I guess what they do is, I don't fucking know, wrestle or fucking weights. It sounds like they're dropping weights above my room. The day of my train, they woke me up at 7 a.m. just dropping weights. But then there's this other thing. There's 3 of them, and they're always like decently sized dudes. And, I feel like we've had, in the 3 years I've been living there, we've had probably like 9, 10 different groups of these guys come in because they're always switching out. Sometimes every month, sometimes every 3-4 months. But these guys are the most obnoxious I've had that I've experienced. And swear to God, it sounds like they're jumping on the bed and just like knocking shit over and wrestling. And all I hear is like fucking bang, 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 and then fucking, it's annoying, dude. It's really fucking annoying, and it's nice not to worry about that shit right now. I've had to yell at them. I think I've only yelled at them twice, but you got to do the thing where you yell one thing to get their attention and then yell a second thing. The first time I yelled at them, it was like, bro, was to get their attention, and then I was like, chill out, man, or something like that. And then the second time was a couple weeks later. Like when they get so loud and it's like so consistent where they're shaking the goddamn ceiling and my ceiling fan is like shaking. That's when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna say something. So the second time, I think I was like, dude, fuck off. Because it's fucking. One time I was in the shower. This was only about a month ago, and yeah, you like where this story's going, don't you, pervert? I hear the loudest noise ever, and I could tell it's above my room because the shower's in the room over. And when I go into my room, I step on a light bulb and it shatters. Thankfully, I put my socks on, so it didn't hurt that much. Didn't draw blood or anything. But they had shaken my ceiling fan so much that a bulb fell I mean, it probably was getting loose every time they were fucking, banging each other. And it fell out, and I stepped on it. And another reason I'm looking forward to moving out. But anyways, yeah, podcasts, it's not that much work. But editing, honestly, I have been like cutting them down because there's sometimes pauses or I just say too much, and I just want to cut it out for the sake of flow. And so sometimes it usually takes like an hour to 3 hours to edit these. So I would like to use that time for other projects. So I think I'm saying so a lot now, but I'm still do them. I could do them once a month, whenever I want to hop on. I'll still do them. If you guys are liking them, and honestly, it's cool that my friends are watching these. That's cool. And I like doing them with them, so we'll keep it going. Especially because, like, isn't this change in background kind of exciting? Trying to figure out, what's going on. Kind of cool, right? The episode before this, the 6.9, I was downstairs in the basement, and then I'll be back up in Minnesota, and then I'll be back here, and then I'm gonna get my own place. That's the plan, at least. So yeah, I'm very excited. I got to email my landlord, say I'm out. What's been nice and what's actually made it really hard to leave is that I have a month-to-month lease. Just because. I mean, not everybody, usually they're all 1 year, but he gave it to us because the guy that used to live with Thomas before I moved in was the landlord's son, so I'm kind of getting that deal because he was giving it to his son, he was giving it to Thomas, and then when I moved in, he gave it to me because he was giving it to Thomas, and then when my new roommate moved in, he gave it to him because he was giving it to me. The landlord is a really nice dude, so for that. But it's also made it hard to leave because all I have to do is let him know a month in advance that I'm out next month. So, but I'm ready. It's been 3 years, and I'm ready, especially because I can't drive around, and yeah. Hello? I guess on the line of like embarrassing myself for being a pussy when I was a kid, another thing I went to a sleepover and everybody wanted to watch Zombieland. And I didn't know that movie, but I'm like, Zombieland? I looked at the cover and I was like, this is too scary, man. So I convinced everybody to watch Billy Madison. And we watched Billy Madison. I wasn't even that like adamant about it. I think I was a very persuasive child. I just convinced people to watch Billy Madison. And I still regret it to this day because I feel like had I been introduced to more scary shit as a kid, I wouldn't have been such a pussy growing up. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like I was always like so like I really tried to like censor my intake of scary shit. And so I didn't really experience my first scary movies till I was in high school. Which, dude, jump scares, man. Even if something pops on the screen in a Disney movie, like just like a quick change and there's just something there. It's not even supposed to be scary, but just a quick pop up on a Disney movie, I will jump, man. I'm not other scary shit, man. Like I watched The Nun, not scary. Conjuring I watched, scary, man. But like the only time I actually like jump is on jump scares, man. I fucking hate them, and no matter how light the jump scare, I will fucking jump, man. It gets me every time, and it's not even like I don't know. It's just like the sudden fuck. That's why I tried to jump scare you. Show you how it fucking feels. I'm just kidding. I'm not mad at you. I'm just jump scares are fucking wild. I'm fine with jumping. It's just like it's bound to happen. But then you could be like, hold me, I'm scared to your lady. And it's okay to be held by your lady. It's okay to be the little spoon every once in a while. Anyways, oh, okay. I got one more thing that just popped in my head, and then we'll wrap it up. It's not so much a story; it's just kind of like a weird circumstance that happened. My old roommate and I, Thomas, it was like a windy day, and we walked across the bridge to Wisconsin because there's a bridge. I live on the border of Minnesota, basically, and we crossed the bridge and hung out over there. But on the way back, we truly felt that we were in a horror film because we were going to walk back to the bridge, and there was no one around all of a sudden, like a fucking ghost town, and there was this one building, and there was a sign, and all of a sudden we just hear it creaking in the wind. Fucking, and it seemed like straight out of, I wish I had my camera. It seemed straight out of a fucking film. And then as we're walking on the bridge back home, I forget what it was, but it was just like a can of some sort is just rolling down the thing. And there's no cars either. But yeah, we were just convinced we were in a scary movie. And then some chick on the way back was like, "Hey," and started following us. But it turned out she just wanted someone to date her other friend. And that was the scariest part of it all. We took off running after that. Like, fuck no. Fuck your friend. In other news, I went bowling the other day with Miko and Ethan, and they were pretty decent. I bowled. We played 2 games, above 100 for both of them, man. And some of them, the second game I was struggling. Actually, both games I was struggling in the first half. And then the last few frames, I would just strike, spare, strike. It was fucking wild. We were making fun of Ethan because he had his dad's shoes, and we're not making fun of him, but we were like, "Yo, winner gets your dad's shoes." We were every time he got a strike, I'm like, "Man, it's the fucking shoes. It's like Mike. It's like Mike, but with bowling, you know." I think that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me, and Razzmatazz and Judge Boobies. Happy Halloween from us, and just thanks so much for watching. Be safe, have fun, and I'll see you in. Sorry, I wasn't trying to flick you off. I'll see you in the next video, my guy. You have a wonderful Halloween. Hug your enemies, kiss your friends, and boo! Peace out.